In the headlines, bandits ambush, kill traditional ruler and son in Taraba. NDLEA intercept 2.7 million tramadol tabs, London, Dubai-bound drugs in Lagos. Serap gives President Buhari 48 hours to withdraw threat to sanction BBC and Daily Trust TV. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Updates. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for joining. And now the news in full. Few days after ordering the closure of schools, Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Saleh has raised alarm over suspicious movement by suspected bandits fleeing from Niger, Zamfara, Kebbi and Kaduna states to the state. The governor said the large movement of fleeing bandits identified in Rogan Juli and Rogan Madaki in Karu, Wamba and Toto local government areas necessitated the expanded security meeting held in Government House, Lafia. Governor Sule explained that the expanding emergency security meeting was to take proactive measures considering the security situation across the country, particularly within the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, where over 800 inmates escaped from the Kuje Correctional Facility recently. He, however, confirmed that security reports indicates that following the influx of these suspected bandits, there have been noticeable increase in cases of kidnapping within the last 2 months.
We had the unfortunate Kuje prisoners outbreak, where it was estimated that about 800 inmates escaped recently. And we have also had the opportunity to arrest some within the state as a result of our proximity to the federal capital. But in addition to that, we have continued to see some movement of some of these bandits who are usually kicked out of Zamfara, Katsina, Niger, Kebbi, and Kaduna states. We have particularly noticed some large presence of some of these at Rogan Juli and Rogan Madaki and Karu local government especially. We have also seen some movements that we are going to discuss in more details, around Wamba and around Toto local government areas. As a result, we have seen a few number of increase in the kidnapping between the last 2 months. And all this combined with our effort made it extremely necessary for us to have this meeting so that we can renew some of our strategies to tackle this.
And a very disturbing development, a third-class traditional ruler in Taraba State, Ibrahim Musa, and his son have been killed by gunmen in the early hours of Sunday. The traditional leader was gunned down on his way to his palace at Yukuben community in Takum local government shortly after state security meeting. Confirming the incident, the lawmakers representing Takum 2 in the State Assembly, Mark Hussaini, urges security agents to fish out the killers.
Lost a very respected traditional ruler, the Udeng Yukuben, Mr. Ibrahim Yamusa Achilok, who was killed by some gunmen while returning to Yukuben, his domain, from a security meeting. It is rather very unfortunate. This is also a condemnable act, and I want to urge the government to make sure that those who perpetrated this act are brought to book.
I called home and they told me that it is true, and this is a barbaric act. I appeal to the security agencies to dig into the root of this problem and unravel those behind this brutal act.
And no fewer than 2,750,000 tablets of tramadol, 225 mg weighing worth 1,375 million naira have been intercepted at the Apapa port in Lagos by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. The consignment packed in 55 cartons of tramadol and carisoprodol types of tramadol was seized during examination of a container in Lagos. A statement from the Director, Media and Advocacy of the agency, Femi Babafemi, says the seizure comes on the heel of similar efforts by anti-narcotic officers at the Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Ikeja, that thwarted bids by drug traffickers to export various psychoactive substances to London, UK and Dubai through the Lagos airport in the past week. At least 5 suspects have so far been arrested in connection to the attempts. On Monday, 25th July, a Dubai UAE-bound passenger, Ms. Ebodegai Gloria, was intercepted during the outward clearance of travelers on Rwanda Air via Kigali to Dubai. Discovered in her luggage were sachets of tramadol 225 mg concealed inside Gari. The following day, Tuesday, 26th July, a total of 50 blocks of cannabis sativa with a total weight of 27.1 kg concealed inside a large quantity of crayfish going to London as part of consolidated cargo was seized at the Sako export shed. Same day, a Dubai-bound female passenger, Emebradu Precious Rachel, was arrested with 1.8 kg cannabis sativa packed inside bitter leaf in luggage while attempting to board Rwandan air flight to UAE via Kigali. In Kebbi, no less than 4,010 ampoules of pentazocine injection were seized on Friday, 29 July, when a commercial vehicle, which was intercepted along Yawuri Kebbi Road, and 2 suspects, Mukhtar Yunusa, 26, and Lukman Aliyu, 30, was arrested. Similarly, a raid operation in Okolo area of Ilorin on Tuesday, 26 July, led to the arrest of Onaolakbo Zakariao, 50, and 79 kg cannabis sativa. Also in Abuja, no fewer than 90 blocks of cannabis and 700 grams of methamphetamine were intercepted at the Jabi Motor Park, where at least a suspect has been arrested in connection with the drug exhibits. And in Kano, 51 suspects were arrested in a raid at Sky Restaurant in Nasarawa area of the state on Friday, 29 July. The suspects were caught with various quantities of cannabis and codeine. In his reaction to the arrest and seizures, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, retired, commended the officers and men of Apapa Seaport, Adamawa, Kebbi, Kwara, Kano and FCT commands for their vigilance and commitment. He urged them and their colleagues across the country not to rest on their oars, but remain resolute in the pursuit of agency's goal of ridding Nigeria of illicit substances. Now to election matters, with the suspension of the continuous voters registration on Sunday by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, all prospective registrants in Nasarawa State could not be captured. Abubakar Abdullahi, who visits some registration centers in the state, reports that many are making efforts at different centers to be registered before the deadline. The report is presented in our studio.
The Independent National Electoral Commission had initially fixed June 30th as closing date for the exercise, but had to extend it by 1 month due to public outcry. Despite the extension, many of the prospective registrants are still yet to get registered. At some registration centers in Nasarawa, many complained of spending hours and still not being able to register. The alleged bias by the staff carrying out the exercise as they appealed for extension.
I will
leave my house as early as 4 a.m. to line up to get registered. Numbers will be given to us by INEC staff. and all of a sudden the number will be dumped and they will tell us a couple of people have been here for quite some days. I have tried my best, but it's like my best is not good enough.
Yesterday since around 3 o'clock a.m. and before we could get form to fill in, it was around 4 o'clock p.m. of which the form had to be used today. And up to now, this is past 3. We are still here waiting to do the registration, of which when you observe, some of us that have been here since yesterday, some people will come and meet us here and then they will let them in, of which this is the practice of injustice.
While others lament their inability to get registered, these one are happy to have been captured in the registration processes.
I start coming here on Monday. It's today that I get registered myself today. I really suffer. It's not easy.
I came here around 6 o'clock and I'm done with it around 3 o'clock. So the thing are getting hard. That's not how it's supposed to be.
Abubakar Mohammed is the public relations officer of INEC in the state, while he trusts television via phone that the registration has been on for long, but many refuse to come until the last minute rush.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it has no plan to further extend the continuous voter registration despite calls by many Nigerians. This follows appeal from some Nigerians who are yet to register. The INEC National Commissioner supervising Imo, Enugu and Ebonyi states, Kenneth Ukeagu, who is in Imo State to monitor the exercise in some centers, said that the exercise, which started in June last year, ought to have ended on June 30, but was extended to July 31, and as such, there will be no further extension. The report. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it has no plan for further extension of the ongoing voters' registration, despite calls for extension by many Nigerians. The INEC Nigerian Commissioner supervising Imo, Enugu and Ebonyi states, Kenneth Ikeagu, who was in Imo State to monitor the exercise in some centers while briefing journalists at the Commission's headquarters in Owerri, said the exercise, which started in June last year, ought to have ended on the 30th of June, but was extended to July 31st, and as such, there will be no further extension.
As of today, the Commission is not planning an extension. Recall that this exercise started last year, June last year. It's over 1 year. It was supposed to have ended on the 30th of June. We extended to 31st of July. And there are other processes that have to take place after the session, after the field work. It's not ending with the field work. There are other things, all the IT people will call the back-end activities that we have to carry out to ensure that they have their PVCs. It's one thing to get registered, it's another thing to have your PVCs. Without the PVCs, all this exercise will be useless.
Some of the persons who are yet to get registered after the long day waiting expressed some level of discomfort over the matter. They said the exercise at some point was occasioned by sharp practices by some of the INEC staff who chose to register those who offered them money.
Since morning, we've been moving from here to there. They don't have enough capturing machines to be able to make the transfer. And sometimes they say there's no network. We don't know why the arrangements are not done to get these things ready so that people will not waste so much time here.
So younger people will be better. They put people in place that can checkmating the line and people by the side so that people don't double cross others. Then if they can try to extend the date for us, I think that would be nice.
Even some are standing under the rain, some are pushing each other, some are fighting and some are quarreling. So I think they should bring more system and employ more workers. They should give us more 2 weeks. Should extend it to August, maybe 13th or 15th, so that other people that have not done their own will be able to beat up.
For Ukeagu, the exercise was satisfactory with the turnout of registrants, the functionality of the machines, as well as the entire registration process. And away from Imo State, we move to Kwara, where the Kwara State government says it has temporarily suspended the payment of monthly salary pension to 6,400 437 retired workers in the state with effect from July 2022 following their inability to complete a verification exercise organized for pensioners in the state. A statement from the Chief Press Secretary of the Office of the State Head of Service, Murtala Atoyabi, said out of a total of 16,368 pensioners in the state, only 9,931 pensioners were verified by the committee. The state government contracted a financial consortium in December last year to carry out a verification exercise on the state pensioners as a result of the precarious challenges inhibiting the smooth payment of the pensioners' entitlement. It added a total of 6,437 pensioners failed to participate in the verification exercise, which was conducted in all the 16 local government areas of the state to ease the burden of the aged people. And the Zamfara State Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mines and Agriculture Zachima, has lamented the collapse of industries which stunted economic and commercial activities in the state. The president of the chamber in Zamfara State, Hamza Balaus, decried the several industries which are in the state of comatose, while speaking with journalists in Gusau, the state's capital, and he says that no plans to revive commercial activities in the state and has gone a very large extent to affect the commission.
The Zasima president, Hamza Bulaus, said the state government, under the leadership of Governor Muhammad Bello, is sponsoring 9 persons to Turkey and United Arab Emirates to study the proper way of doing business in order to replicate some of the state to enhance commercial activities. He told journalists that arrangements for the 9 to embark on the study tour to the 2 countries have so far been concluded, as they already secured visa to travel to the 2 countries. Bulaos also said arrangements is in top gear to distribute 5 billion naira soft loan to its members and traders to boost commercial activities across the 14 local government areas of the state. Zasima is planning to give soft loan to traders to boost their businesses in the 14 local government areas of Zamfara State. We succeeded in uniting traders in Zamfara, and thank God for that. Zasima has successfully completed establishing its structures in all the 14 local government areas. Zamfara State Governor Bello Mohammed has made tremendous effort to sponsor 9 persons to go to Turkey and Dubai in August 2022 to study how businesses are carried out there, to come to replicate some in Zamfara to boost commercial activities. Zasima president called on residents and civil servants in the state to engage in one business or the other to avoid depending on one source of income. There are numerous benefits of doing business. It plans to distribute 5 billion naira as soft loans to traders in Zamfara State to boost their businesses and commercial activities in the state. The 5 billion naira is a bank loan, but the Zamfara State government will stand as guarantor for the loan, which will be distributed to traders. He asked the prospective beneficiaries to note that the money is a bank loan, therefore they should ensure the money is used for the purpose it's meant for. Bulaos also pledged commitment towards improving the standard of commercial activities in the state with a view to reducing the burden of unemployment and redundancy among the teeming unemployed.
You're still watching Trust TV News updates. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at how the rains cause discomfort in some communities. This and other stories shortly. To stay with us.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. You're still watching Trust TV News Updates. Before we proceed with the rest of the news, let's take a look at our top stories. We told you that bandits ambush and kill traditional ruler and son in Taraba. And the NDLEA intercepts 2.7 million naira tramadol tabs in London, Dubai-bound drugs in Lagos. And now to other news. Morocco, that's on the international scene now. Morocco's King Mohammed VI has called for a restoration of diplomatic ties with neighboring Algeria, which broke off diplomatic relations with Rabat last year. During the traditional speech marking the 22nd anniversary of the king's accession to the throne on Saturday, Mohammed said he aspires to establish with Algerian President Abdelmadjid Tebboune normal relations between the two brotherly people. He urged Moroccans to preserve the spirit of fraternity, solidarity and good neighborliness towards Algerian brothers and described the two countries as being more than neighbors. Morocco and Algeria have been at odds over the disputed territory of Western Sahara, where the Algiers backed Polisario front in seeking independence from Rabat's rule. And the supporters of powerful Iraqi leader Muqtada al-Sadri have erected tents and are preparing for a long sit-in at Iraq's parliament, deepening a months-long political standoff. On Saturday, supporters of the firebrand al-Sadri forced their way into the legislative chamber for the second time in days after October elections failed to lead to the formation of a government. Nearly 10 months after October elections, Iraq is still without a new government despite intense negotiations between factions. And to sports, the NBA is reportedly investigating 76 for possible tampering and early contact regarding the team's off-season free agent signing of James Harden, PJ Tucker and Daniel House Jr. One of the central elements of the league's inquiry includes questions on Harden's decision to decline a $47.4 million player option for 2022-2023 and take a pay cut of a new 2-year, that is $68 million deal. Around the league, there have been questions about whether there's already a handshake agreement in place of a future contract, which will be in violation of collective bargaining rules. Sixers president of basketball operations, Daryl Morey, has already begun answering questions from league attorneys. And more on sport, Nigeria on Saturday won its first medal at the ongoing Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, United Kingdom. Adijat Adenike Olarinoe recorded a total of 203 kg in the women's 55 kg weightlifting event to win Nigeria's first gold medal in the Games. Before winning the medal, Olarinoye had set 2 records in 10 minutes, lifting 90 kg and 92 kg in the snatch category of women's 55 kg weightlifting event. The Nigerian anthem was sung while the country's flag was displayed shortly after the gold medalist was decorated. India's Bindarayani came second, while England's Freya Murray came third. And with that, we have come to the end of the news update at this hour. For more, please do follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.